Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Pan, Technical Evangelist for Bixby. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at JohnWithoutTheH. In this video, we're going to be going over frequent rejections for the Bixby Capsule Approval Process. This one's going to be on hints and testing your ASR. So this video is the third part of a four-part series for the Bixby Capsule Approval Process. The first thing to go over is what a hint is. And hints are a way for the user to start your capsule at the top level of Bixby. So let's say that their Bixby has been off for a while and they say, "Hi Bixby," or press the button. They should be able to say, "Ask the unofficial Pokédex to show me a Pikachu," in order to start the capsule, the unofficial Pokédex, and then to show you a Pikachu. Here you can see that the hints are right there in the capsule page. You can also click on them to initialize the hint. And here's a quick video demonstrating on using a hint on Bixby.
Pikachu. Its nature is to store up electricity. Forests where nests of Pikachu live are dangerous, since the trees are so often struck by lightning.
There you can see me speaking into Bixby, saying this hint, and the hint executing this capsule with that command, "Show me a Pikachu." So next we're going to go over the rules for hints. First of all, you need at least 3 hints in order for your capsule to be accepted. Your hint has to have the dispatch name in it, and typically near the beginning with some kind of action word at the beginning. And it must follow one of the acceptable formats. Here are 3 of the formats to give you an example: with Animation Nation, Ask Animation Nation, and Using Animation Nation. There are more acceptable formats in the documentation. Simply search reserved utterances in the documentation and click on the first link to find them. Now, all hints must work in the simulator and on device. Typically, as long as you test for ASR in the simulator and test for the functionality in the simulator, you're pretty safe to assume that on device works too. But if you do have a device tested on, all the better. You should test your capsule on your device as well. All hints must be replicable with voice and therefore recognized by Bixby's ASR, which is automatic speech recognition. If the hint is not ASR friendly, we can reject a capsule for that. Every hint must be a top level utterance in order to start your capsule, so nothing in the middle of the capsule that you'd expect a user to say. For example, if your capsule asks you for your name somewhere in the middle to fill out a form, don't say your name is something in order to start your capsule. That will fail your capsule. Make sure there are no typos, no spelling errors. Try to minimize grammar issues as well. Next, I'm going to show you how to test your hints. We're going to be doing our testing in the simulator for this video. We're going to test to make sure that ASR works for the hints, and finally that the functionality also works for the hints. After that, we're going to test the hint variations. So we also test for hint variations during the capsule review process as well. During our testing in the simulator, we will be going through this section here and making sure that our hints fulfill all of these criteria. The capsule that I'm going to be working with in this case is GIF Finder.
I found some cats GIFs for you.
And all it does is it shows you GIFs of pretty much whatever you search for. So in this case, the dispatch name is GIF Finder. So let's go to our first set of hints for demonstration. Here you'll see that these are some hints that I've created in the case of if someone says, "Show me some kittens." Now, they must be essentially identical to the hint itself, and they can't be too generic. So let's say I have a hint with GIF Finder start. My preferred hint can't be start, just start. It should be start GIF Finder in that case. But otherwise, you can pretty much just copy paste this second section and put it in here as your preferred hint. That aside, moving on, we're going to start off by testing the ASR of this hint. You can do that by simply clicking on this microphone icon and speaking into your computer. With GIF Finder, show me some kittens.
I found some with GIF Finder. Show me some kittens GIFs for you.
And you'll see here how the ASR failed to pick up GIF and instead it said GIF Finder. In this case, if your capsule regularly fails the ASR test and it's unable to pick up something in your capsule, you have to fix that or else it's going to be rejected. In the case of this hint, the problem lies with GIF Finder. And in order to fix that, we actually have to change our dispatch name and capsule name as well. And here I'm going to change it to Animation Nation, another name that I thought up of for this capsule, and we're just going to go with that. And likewise, we also have to change our hints to reflect that and to use this dispatch name instead. So let's give that one a try in ASR. With Animation Nation, show me some kittens.
Here are some with Animation Nation show me some kittens GIFs.
Notice how the ASR picked up with Animation Nation show me some kittens. However, the capsule is confused because it's not trained with Animation Nation at the front of it. And you'll see how it took this entire thing as a search term. Say the entire hint into your capsule to make sure that the ASR works for it. However, when the capsule is actually deployed onto the marketplace, only this portion of the hint will be passed to your capsule. In other words, we only have to test the functionality of this portion of the hint.
Enjoy these kittens GIFs.
And here you'll see that it does return kittens as GIFs, and that seems pretty reasonable. And I did forget to change this to something else, so I'm going to change that right now to Meowstick. Ask Animation Nation to show me some Meowstick pictures.
Here are some Ask Animation Nation to show me some nasty GIFs.
You'll notice here that the ASR is failing and it's unable to pick up Meowstick. So we should change this to something that ASR does recognize, or else this hint will be a fail. Let's change that to Pokemon. Ask Animation Nation to show me some Pokemon pictures.
I found some Ask Animation Nation to show me some Pokemon GIFs for you.
Okay, and this one does work with ASR, which is great. Just like the last one, we have to test for the functionality with just this portion. Show me some Pokemon pictures.
Enjoy these Pokemon GIFs.
And these are returning Pokemon GIFs as expected. The next hint we're going to test, ask Animation Nation to show me Bob Marley pictures.
I found some Animation Nation show me Bob.
You'll notice how this does correctly work with ASR. Now let's test the functionality. Show me Bob Marley pictures.
I found some Marley GIFs for you.
And here you can see that it's actually returning Marley GIFs instead of Bob Marley. So this would actually be a fail from the functionality perspective for this hint. And in order to fix this, which I will show how to fix, simply you can add training to address this, because right now it's expecting, I believe, a single word after show me as the search term. So if we just use this training right here, where this thing is the search and this is the goal, find GIF. In this case, I'm just going to re-enable this one. Now this training accounts for multiple words after show me to count as the search term. Show me Bob Marley pictures.
Enjoy these Bob Marley GIFs.
And now Bixby is correctly returning Bob Marley instead of just Marley. Now I'm going to show you how we typically test for hint variations, which is also something you should test as well. Earlier we've already established that this hint works, so let's test for some variations of this hint. The reason why we test for hint variations is because users will often say a slight variant of your hint instead of the exact hint, and this is just very common behavior with human speech. So this would be a common variation. Find me some kittens.
I found some kittens GIFs for you.
And there you can see that the functionality does still work even with the word find instead of show. And now let's test the next one. Show me some puppies.
Here are some puppies GIFs.
And this one works as well, even though we just replaced kittens with puppies. So we basically replaced one of the expected inputs. The next one, let's test to make sure that ASR works for this one. Ask Animation Nation to show me corgi pictures.
Here are some Ask Animation Nation show me corgi.
Here you can see that the ASR did work, so let's test the functionality. Show me corgi pictures.
Enjoy these corgi GIFs.
And the functionality does work. So now let's test another variant of that. Let's just go with the hamster one and replace pictures with images. Show me some hamster images.
Enjoy these hamster GIFs.
Okay, that works too. And then let's try the next one. Show me some pictures.
I need a search to continue.
So here you'll notice that earlier I've been testing for replacing the input with something else. Now in this case, I've removed the input. And here we can see I need a search to continue. Now this is definitely a fail for your capsule. In order to fix this, we can use an input view to prompt the user for their input when it needs a search term. Right here, I need a search to continue. Now I'm not going to go over how to build this input view. I do have a tutorial for that. However, here it is in case you are curious.
What would you like to see GIFs of?
And now you can see that this input view is here and we can type in whatever we want.
Enjoy these peanuts GIFs.
And the input view works. And the next thing I'm trying to emulate what if your capsule could not find any results. So if we put something in the input that, a user might say and your capsule might not have any response. Now, of course, this isn't something a user might say, ask the Vida, but at the very least, something a user might say is likely to return some kind of no result.
I couldn't find any result structure variable.
And here you'll see, not only does it tell you I couldn't find something, but it also says any result structure variable. Here we've exposed the user to the variable name and it looks very, very awkward to any user. We can fix this by using a no result dialog.
Unfortunately, there were no ASTFQJF GIFs found. Try asking for some kitten GIFs.
It's highly recommended for you to guide the user in terms of what to do next. In this case, I have try asking for some kitten GIFs to help the user learn how to use this capsule. There's some other options as well. For example, in the associated view file, you can add the proper conversation drivers, and you can add, for example, some type of images to go with it.
Unfortunately, there were no ASTFQJF GIFs found. Try asking for some kitten GIFs.
And now we have plenty of guidance to the user here in the dialog and what Bixby says, and finally something that you can click down here.
Enjoy these cat stickers.
Now you also notice how oftentimes the looking for result structure variables pops up.
I found some
Right
hamster
there.
GIFs for you.
Now that's also very unsightly for the user to see. In order to fix that, you'll want to use the progress dialog. And right here, I just uncommented that.
Enjoy these happy stickers.
You'll see how now it has one of these custom texts for the user to see. So when we test hints, we often actually see those variables pop up a lot and fail some capsules here and there. So finally, let's test the last hint right here. Using Animation Nation, show me what's trending.
Here are some using Animation Nation. Show me what's trending.
And here we can see that the ASR is working for this hint. Show me what's trending.
Here are some trending GIFs.
And that worked right there. The functionality worked, and let's test a variation of that. Show me some trending pictures.
I found some trending GIFs for you.
And that works as well. So now we've gone through our second set of hints. And in the end, after much testing and everything else, and also trying to choose some hints that best show off what this capsule can do, here are the hints that I've come up with in the end. And you'll see how these all fulfill all the criteria on the checklist. And speaking of the checklist, here we can see we have at least 3 hints. We have 4 hints here. Here we can see that all of them do work with ASR. I've tested them. And I've tested these for the hint variations. And finally, error handling has been handled as well, and there are no spelling or grammar mistakes. And if you've checked off these checkboxes, your hints are very, very likely to pass. And that pretty much summarizes most of the ways that your capsule can be rejected because of the hints. And hopefully I've shown you how I test my hints when it comes to creating my hints for my capsules. And besides, the way that I test my hints are very similar to the actual capsule reviewers and the ways that they're going to be testing your hints as well after you've submitted your capsule. Thank you very much.